So there was a report this morning that Paul Pogba would be open to going to another Premier League club at the end of his contract this summer. Whilst there might be speculation about which Premier League club that's going to be, all fingers to me point to Manchester City, and I think that's the direction the media is going in as well. The reason why that is because you've got to look at the other clubs that would be able to get Pogba. Would Chelsea and Liverpool be able to afford his wages? Probably not. Any other team other than United ain't going to win trophies. Arsenal ain't going to win trophies. Tottenham ain't going to win trophies. So who else is going to be in for Pogba? I think it only leaves Manchester City. Pogba might like the appeal of wanting to play under Guardiola, and he also might like more money. Manchester City would be the only team that could pay Paul Pogba more than what Manchester United do. Mark my words. They are the two richest clubs in the Premier League and possibly in the world. Now obviously there's been talks for a long time about Paul Pogba leaving, and I don't think the fans would really be too upset if Paul Pogba were to leave at the end of his contract. I've said in multiple videos I think it would be the best thing for both parties. So you've got Juventus, PSG and Real Madrid that have all been interested in Pogba supposedly for years on end, however never quite getting him. And I'd be understanding if he wanted to leave. I mean, I've been disappointed with Paul Pogba's performance since he's been at Manchester United, but you've got to look at it from both sides. I don't think Paul Pogba walked into the situation that he thought he was walking into when he came back to United. I think the amount of unrest in the dressing room and the unrest higher up is something that Paul Pogba wouldn't have expected. And I do think that he came to a club that he thought wanted to win trophies and challenge for the biggest honours, whereas what he's actually walked into is a club that is basically happy with challenging for fourth place and wanting to get big merchandise signings, which he was one of, by the way. So for that reason, I wouldn't actually begrudge Paul Pogba leaving, because I don't think he walked into the situation that he thought he was walking into, like I say. I also don't think that we've got on the player we thought we were getting. We thought we were getting a dominant centre midfielder who was going to be able to take games by the scruff of the neck, whereas I think the reality that we didn't really see is the players that he was playing with. When he's been successful for France, he's had either Kante or Matuidi beside him, two really, really hard-working midfield players who will do all the dirty work and just let Pogba do what he wants. Let him have free reign of the pitch. Pogba is always better in that situation. Likewise for Juventus. They had one of the best midfields I think I've ever seen. So they had Pirlo as a number 6 in a sort of 3 at the back formation. And then they also had Arturo Vidal, who once again did all the running, all the dirty work, got into the box, got into their own box, made tackles, played passes, did most of the difficult stuff in midfield, while Pogba was just sort of there to be like a flair player, making tackles if he felt like it. Whereas at Manchester United, we were not in that situation. We signed him to play in the centre of midfield with Ander Herrera, and then with Matic. So it's never quite been the situation that he had at Juventus or that he had at France. I would not blame Pogba for wanting to go to Real Madrid, and I do think that's probably his most likely destination. I don't think he's going to go back to Juventus because he's already made a return to a club, which was disappointing. So I think he'll go to somewhere he's never been before. So I think he'll go to Real Madrid. That's always been sort of stated as his dream move, and I think now's the time for him to take it. Real Madrid are on a down, Pogba's on a bit of a down. PSG is another potential one if he thinks that's an easy Champions League win, and obviously a League One win is guaranteed, then he may go to PSG. But the purpose of this video is to talk about what the fan reaction would be if Pogba were to go to Manchester City. Whilst I don't think it will happen, I think it's more possible than you might believe. Mino Raiola would get whatever move is going to make the most money. And make no mistake, Man City can pay more for Pogba than anybody else. Obviously there'll be no transfer fee if he leaves for free and doesn't renew his contract. So there'll be no transfer fee, but there'll be a signing on fee which Raiola will get a percentage of. So that's one thing to watch out for. Man City will be able to pay the best money. Man City and PSG are the two teams that will be able to pay the best money. So Raiola will always be motivated by that. Real Madrid are in financial turmoil. They're unlikely to be able to offer Pogba the wages or the signing on fee that he would have got elsewhere. Man City and PSG, whilst not the most viable options in terms of what we know Paul Pogba wants for his career, they are the most viable options financially because they have the most money by a long way out of the teams that want him. What I would say though, the last time I remember a switch like this happening, it was Carlos Tevez from Manchester United to Man City. Now, Carlos Tevez was someone who was mistreated by Manchester United. And what I mean when I say that is that Carlos Tevez was absolutely brilliant from the year 2007 to 2008, when we won the Premier League and the Champions League, it was a three-pronged attack of Rooney, Tevez and Ronaldo that really did it. And Tevez was a massive part of that. And then the following year, Manchester United went and signed Berbatov and didn't give Tevez any game time. So Tevez's 2-year loan ran out, and instead of signing permanently, like we thought he was going to, he ends up signing for Man City. He'd obviously had a big fallout with Alex Ferguson, because Ferguson believed that Berbatov was superior forward, which everyone else could see, and I'm sure Tevez could see wasn't the case. However, Pogba is not someone that's been mistreated. You can't say he's been mistreated. Yes, he might have fallen out with Jose Mourinho, but Mourinho always saw him as the best in his position, and rightfully so. And every manager who he's been at has played him through very bad runs of form and still persisted with him and believed in him. So it will be worse than what it was if Tevez leaves. And you think about the amount of hate that Tevez got from Man United fans. Who's that twat from Argentina? Who's that money-grabbing whore? Carlos Tevez is his name and he hasn't got a brain, so he won't be winning trophies anymore. He did go and win trophies, by the way, but that's besides the point. Paul Pogba will be hated by United fans. Firstly, he's come through the youth team. Then he snubbed Ferguson's contract offer because he thought that he was bigger and better than the club, which was a decision largely influenced by Mino Raiola. Subsequently, he goes to Juventus, does really well there, then comes back to Manchester United for 80 million. In spite of what you think of Manchester United's project, he has flattered to deceive since joining Manchester United for that much money. So then if he were to leave to Manchester United's biggest rivals, can you imagine the hatred United fans would have for him? So this guy leaves the youth team because he thought he was far too good for it. We have to buy him back years later for 80 million, consistently underperforms, or performs inconsistently to be fair, then goes to Manchester United's biggest rivals. That will be one of the most hated players in the history of Manchester United. Guys, please let me know what you think about this. How likely is Pogba to go to Manchester City? Will he stay at United? I know there's been talks about that recently. Will he go somewhere else? Let me know what you think in the comment section. As always, smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Love you all. See you later.